Well, firstly, thank you very much for that introduction. That sounded far too grand for what I'm now about to present to you. But thanks for the welcome and for RedR for hosting this evening. Really excited to be a part of it. My name is Olly Parsons. I'm the Senior Market Engagement Manager for our Mobile for Humanitarian Innovation Program at the GSMA. So, firstly, what is the GSMA? We are essentially the trade association for the mobile industry. So we represent almost 800 mobile network operators around the globe and many other organizations working within the mobile ecosystem. We work with this industry on a number of different topics, from roaming, which thankfully I'm not going to be talking about tonight, through to 3G, 4G, 5G, and then really importantly, something that I do want to talk about tonight. So that's the impact that mobile has. Pretend you can't see this. That's the impact that mobile can have and does have on societies around the world. So currently there are over 5 billion unique mobile subscribers around the world. That's almost 60% of the global population. Evidently, not quite 100% of the global population, and that's something that we're very aware of in our work, that when we talk about mobile technology as a channel, especially for humanitarian or developmental programming, it's not reaching everybody. But we are increasing along that path. 40% of the global population has access now to mobile internet. And if we think about the ways that all of us use mobile, that we use it every day, whether it be to find the location here tonight by using maps, to WhatsApp a friend about meeting up, to check the news, to maybe check your online bank account. We use it in almost every walk of life. It won't be a surprise, and it shouldn't be a surprise to many people, that those uses are replicated right around the world in developmental contexts. When we then look to humanitarian settings or disaster response settings, if you think about the times when perhaps you have lost signal or lost battery, run out of battery on the way home after a night out, and you suddenly appear very isolated or very lost, very disconnected, it's something that we've become very, very used to very quickly. And in a disaster response setting, a real-life emergency, having access to communication, to the information and support that it can facilitate, to your friends, to your family, to emergency services, to others within your community, can be a life-saving resource. And so we work very closely with the mobile industry, with the humanitarian sector, to ensure that that can be the case. Across the GSMA, we work on a number of programs focused on how mobile can play a positive social economic benefit within the lives of those around the world. So we do look at CSR, but really importantly for us is finding sustainable solutions. That may mean, and quite often does, that there is a business case in there somewhere, and we're not afraid of that. We think that's really important. If it is making a product sustainable or a service sustainable, if it means that it can be delivered at a very high standard to those people, be they customers or beneficiaries that require that service, then it's really important to us that we find the models that make that work. So the Mobile for Humanitarian Innovation Program at the GSMA aims to accelerate the digitization of humanitarian channels. We do that through a number of different streams, research and insights, advocacy and regulatory change for enabling environments, and something that I want to talk about very briefly, because I'm probably running out of time already tonight, and that is Mobile for Humanitarian Innovation and the Innovation Fund that we have at the GSMA. We have just closed our second round of funding that has worked to identify solutions around the globe that utilize mobile technology in a forced displacement context or in a complex emergency context. We are offering or have offered grant funding of up to £300,000 and support technical expertise over between a 12 and 18-month period to support organizations, be they mobile network operators, humanitarian organizations or other, to implement this type of project. We focused on 5 key themes. I'm going to shoot past those, but please ask me about them later. And something that I really want to focus on is this infographic here. When we are looking at mobile technology, we really acknowledge that it's not in the hands of everybody, and even where it is, high-tech solutions are inappropriate or inaccessible to everybody. When we think about the impact that mobile can have, we're as interested in the power of a single SMS as we are artificial intelligence or other types of very technical solutions that can now run off of mobile. This is a quick graph to show the ways in which applicants to our recent round of funding categorize themselves. And I think really important just to highlight that whilst the tech component is important, is enabling us to serve better and quicker with much more efficiency, much more targeted humanitarian support, the tech component isn't what's important. It's whether users or beneficiaries are accessing the services that they truly need, dictated and designed by them rather than somebody sitting somewhere else. And that we're also looking at the ways that mobile can disrupt systems that have been in place for too long, delivering humanitarian assistance because that is the best that can be done in that situation. And so we want to work with the mobile industry, with the wider humanitarian sector, to find ways of where possible, but also where relevant, utilizing the power of mobile technology to support that process. Really quickly, a couple of examples from our first round of funding. Some recognizable logos, hopefully, so Nokia, Red Cross, operators from around the world, as well as others working in a whole variety of different ways to deliver humanitarian impact via mobile, whether it be at the high end, looking at the analysis of call detail records and big data, or at a much more basic level of how by creating a much quicker early warning system can we prevent the spread of fires in informal settlements.